candidates ready for the fight. Voices loud, they take the stand. Who will lead the promised land? Promises flying, hearts ignite. Truth or lies, we'll take the mic. The clock is ticking, make your choice. Who you hear, the people's voice. It's in the ballot, it's in your hand. The future's calling. Take us The votes are in, it's time to see what this town is meant to be. Together strong, we'll cast our say. Build tomorrow from today. Side by side we make the call. Every voice, it counts them all. A team of hearts with plans to share. For every soul we're standing there. It's in the ballot, it's in our hands. Together we rise and take a stand. For every dream, for every need, community spirit is our creed. The vote is here to pave the way. Working hard both night and day. Delivering hope, delivering dreams. We are the ones who fuel the streams. Every corner, every street, we bring the change that makes us meet. Hand in hand we hold the flame. Together we'll make a lasting name. It's in the ballot, it's in our hands. Together we rise and take a stand. For every dream, for every need, community spirit is our creed. The vote is here to pave the way. Working hard both night and day. Delivering hope, delivering dreams. We are the ones to fuel the streams. Every corner, every street, we bring the change that makes us meet.
And good afternoon, everybody. And today we have got the Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board candidates right here vying to get your ticks on why they should be the next community board members. But with every election, there's one thing stepping in their way, and that's your vote. And welcome to today's It's in the Ballot show. Now, first up, let's get off with opening statements of why each of these candidates should be getting your tick. Let's kick off with Quinn.
Kia ora koutou. Kun kingi ahau. I'm as local as the breeze, I like to say, and so I'm standing to give fair representation for our community of Whakatāne. I've lived there all my life, very passionate about our town, and I just want to stand because I want to say to my whānau, if I can do it, you can do it. And so, yeah, I just checked, and I'm the youngest out of the group, so I'll take the rangatahi vote there, whānau. And yeah, I just want to give a fair representation for our Māori communities and to create change.
Okay, next up, Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim Poort, made in Belgium and proud to call Whakatāne-Ōhope. For 20 years, I've started with ideas, connected people and resources with them, and made things real, so that things would start to flow instead of staying stuck. And that's what I want for Whakatāne as well. I want safe streets, strong connections, and thriving local projects. So I'm running for the community board to level up work, play, and life with practical action that moves Whakatāne forward.
Okay, next up we got Sue.
Kia ora, I'm Sue. I've lived and worked in New Zealand since 1978, and I'm also an immigrant from Germany. From 1994, I worked as an art teacher at Trident High School, Rangatahi College, Kawara College, and Whakatane High School. So I've been around the motu in our area and got to know a lot of whānau and a lot of kids and adults as well. From 2010, I developed the successful international student business at Whakatane High School. So I'm a businesswoman as well. And in 1994, I joined the Whakatane District Community Arts Council, known as Arts Whakatane, and I've worked as a volunteer with them since then. So it's many years of volunteering, helping to create arts events for the community here. And I'm also involved in the now defunct Kokako Trust. It's merged into the Eco Trust, so I have got passions and interests not only in the arts but also in conservation. And I'm also a member of Zonta, which is an organisation that supports women and girls. Kia ora.
Okay, next up, Doug.
Yeah, kia ora. I'm Doug McLean. I've lived in Whakatane for 27 years. Previous to that, I've lived all over the country. My home area is the Hauraki Plains, but I've decided that Whakatane is my favourite place. I loved everywhere else I lived, but Whakatane is very special. I've been on the community board for 3 years. I've really enjoyed it, and I've particularly enjoyed the chairmanship of Carolyn Hamill. She's done a great job, a great culture, great team. There are a couple of things that I didn't really get through on the community board. I'd like you to give me the chance to finish that off. A couple of things. I love this community. I want to give back. I mightn't have the energy. You know, I'm probably the oldest, Quinn, but I've got a lot of wisdom. I've got a lot of wisdom. So, you know, I'd just like your vote to, you know, enable me to contribute to the to Whakatāne-Ōhope. And the other thing, I believe, I could be correct on this, I think I was the only one that resided in Whakatane on the last board. And I did feel sometimes that I had to be, you know, had to speak out for Whakatane. Just a thought, just to get the vote, just a thought. And that's me. 21 years principal of the intermediate. I was also president of NZ Ames, you know, the sporting, it's actually a sporting and educational organisation.
You do know how to crack a lot into a very long 1 minute.
Oh, okay. I'll give up.
I was going to sit there and say, if I went the way I was doing an NCA level 1 for my speech, I probably would have failed not keeping to that time limit.
Probably.
Okay. Rosemary.
Kia ora whānau. My name's Rosemary. I've been in and around the Eastern Bay of Plenty for the last 45 years, been a big advocate for volunteering in the Eastern Bay, put my hand up for lots of things which have given me a lot of insight into how our community works together. My background is in education, health, and working in the not-for-profit sector. I've also run my own business. What do I bring to the table? I bring experience, insight into a very broad aspect of our community that perhaps some of our people are unaware of. I advocate for seniors in the community. I'm really happy to accept your vote for me on the Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board.
Okay, and we've got Sasha.
I work closely with people who are usually in pain. It gives me a strong insight into how they really feel about things. Individuals across all ages, all walks of life. I've been doing that for over 25 years. I want to spread my wings into local governance so that I can embrace more people under that umbrella. On top of that, I serve as a Facebook community admin of over 47,000 members. It's a beautiful place and it's a mean place, but we manage it. We create respectful, safe spaces for all of our members. I like having respectful discussion and creating support for everyone. My approach is practical and it's grounded in fairness. I care about good communication, transparency and local democracy, and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to be heard, especially those who are often overlooked. So I'm bringing experience and enthusiasm to the table in the interest of the whole community. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's get to the box questions here, and my fingers crossed, it could take a bit of time. We got another, Linda, is it? Jump on stage. Dave, can you bring out another mic, please? Oh, and the, what, oh, fuck. Did you tell Mark to make that he's not got to be Oh, okay.
Tēnā koutou katoa.
It's not on.
No, oh, just wait. And I don't think the mic's on. No, actually, it didn't say that.
Yes.
Just without heating.
This is the most uncanny experience. You would have wanted to see it in class. I did morning, I did ring and tell Colin on first. I had a great conversation afterwards. Right, I can just share.
Oh,
Wicked.
yeah, I've already just gone to all that fun parts.
I'll have this, but I will enjoy it. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that delay. Linda, let's get to your opening statement before we get to the box questions.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Linda Bond tuku ingoa. So I'm completing my second term as a member of the Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board. At present, I am the Deputy Chair. I have spent 9 years as Mayoress, so therefore I believe I do have a deep understanding of local government. I came to Whakatāne in 2007 to be Deputy Principal at Whakatāne High School, but I really missed the classroom. So after 5 years of having to discipline students and not be in the classroom, I then was able to become a job as HOD Social Sciences, which I was doing before I came to Whakatāne High School. I've been very successfully running a Whakatāne High School Interact Club. We've done a pink ribbon breakfast annually for about 7 or 8 years now. And for probably the last 11 years, we've every November cooked 14,000 cookies to raise money for our Whakatāne High School. We've put 2 shade sails in so far with all of that funding. I obviously supports youth events because I push and push and push kids to do the youth council applications. And so far this year, as in most years, all but one of the youth councillors belong to Whakatāne High School. I'm very important for environmental issues. I'm a part-time secondary school teacher. It allows me more time to devote to the community and things like Big Brother, Big Sister, Eastern Bay of Plenty. I love this community. I want to see it continue to thrive. If we do the hard things today, we make tomorrow easier. He waka iki noa. Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board is the waka we're all going on together.
Okay, thank you for bearing us while we get a microphone going through there. Okay, so let's get ready for the box questions. Now, because community boards are a group of people who have got to work together as a team, we're going to get them to collectively answer each question that comes out of the box. Quinn, you get to go first. You can choose a box number between 1 or 9 or between tahi and iwa. Iwa? And what does... And then, okay... So we've got D for Delta, and just a moment here. How willing are you to work with local hapu and iwi at a community board level?
Oh, good question. So I have my hapu interests tai whakaia upukore, tai whakaia ranihauhiri rangataua. So I am Ngāti Pūkeko and Ngāti Awa. On my mum's side, so I'm already engaging. I'm at the marae as often as I possibly can. Whakawhanaungatanga, that's what we call it, and I think that's what we're about to enter into, some whakawhanaungatanga as community leaders. So, yeah, I think having our voice represented here on this community board is going to be very crucial because our people don't really vote, and I'll just be honest. So I think we need more Māori boards and more Māori representation on community boards.
Okay, Tim, how would you like to answer that question?
I'll be honest, I don't fully understand yet what that means in practice. But if you ask me if I want to work with the change makers of the community where I live, then yeah, of course I want to work with them.
Okay, Sue.
In Whakatāne-Ōhope, it's essential to work with hapu and iwi, and hopefully we'll have Māori representation on the community board. Our population is about 50% Māori and 50% non-Māori. As a now retired teacher in this district for 30 years, I have been in close contact with Māori whānau and Māori staff. I've learned to value such essential concepts as manaakitanga, kaitiakitanga, whanaungatanga, and rangatiratanga. And I think it's very important to recognise that and to uphold the Treaty of Waitangi principles. Kia ora.
Okay, Doug.
I've always felt very comfortable working in Māori communities. I've worked in 3, and I've always found it a very positive experience. I'm very comfortable with it, and I was really honoured when I retired. Māori honoured me with a karawai.
Okay. Yep. Rosemary.
I think it's
Make sure the switch is up. If you'll switch up. Yep.
I think it's absolutely
No.
essential. Yep.
Switch needs to be up, not down.
Hello. I think it's absolutely
No?
essential.
Okay, swap
No,
mics.
It's not working. Swap mics. We'll go again.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely essential that we work with hapu and iwi. They are a vital part of our community. I've previous experience working in co-governance in the virtual Eastern Bay villages as a trustee, and also currently working with the support team, the steering team for the building of the Whakatāne Disaster Memorial. So there's a lot of consultation that has to go on, a lot of backwards and forwards, but you know, I've learnt so much, and I think it's just absolutely vital and extremely valuable that those voices are heard at the table.
Okay, Sasha.
I fully embrace it. I'm already part of a successful community admin team where 50% are Māori, and our karero is always grounded in respect on all sides. That experience has taught me the value of listening, learning and working together. I know partnership with tangata whenua is essential at a community board level, and I'm committed to continuing to learn and strengthen those relationships.
Okay, Linda.
Kia ora. Whakatāne, as has been said, is 48% Māori. We have 7 iwi, mainly in Aotearoa we have Ngāti Awa. I work at Whakatāne High School, which is Ngāti Awa school. Since I came to the school in 2007, it has been a very steep learning curve for me about the involvement and the voice at the table of tangata whenua. So Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board has an open forum at each meeting. Māori, Pākehā all attend. Funding applications from all sectors of our rohi come to our table. And if I were the chair, we will continue to build relationships with hapu and iwi. And one of those examples was when we were looking to upgrade the flying fox in Ōhope. There was a lot of conversation with hapu, and it took a while, but we got that underway. Also, the Whakatāne Memorial that has been a big part of our projects.
Okay. Thank you for that. Tim, you're next in line. What's the next box number, please? 3? Okay. Okay, we got G for Geyser. What would your role entail in overseeing the planning, regulation, and implementation of traffic, parking, signages, and related policy changes, including community consultation?
I support every action that streamlines traffic, improves safety, grows the economy, and pulls us closer together. But let's be honest, beyond a few signs, what we really need are a couple of bridges.
Okay. Sue.
Speed limits certainly have been a hot topic recently here, with speed reductions to improve road safety introduced by the last government and this government rescinding that. So there's been a lot of talk about that. Do I need to really get that few minutes faster? And am I a little bit unsafer with that? So we could assist by with discussions about that. There are other about signage and making road bumps to slow traffic down, etc. So yeah, I'm sure that the community board can contribute with the many issues around traffic and traffic bylaws. But that's something that I'm not very experienced in, but I'm keen to learn. Thank you.
Okay, Doug.
On the present community board, we have been consulted with, and I think that was important. But I feel often the decision's been made by the time the community board has been consulted with. I was involved with the cameras, and I spent time looking at the cameras, but I think it had been already done, but at least the community board get a chance to consult.
Okay, Rosemary.
I see the community board role as one of advocacy, so being the voice or the conduit between the community and the council when there are issues of concern around traffic and safety in our community. I think we are the voice that puts forward new ideas and perhaps solutions in this space.
Okay, Sasha,
It's interesting to hear that Doug has said that.
microphone.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
We're just going to have to isolate that one.
It's interesting that Doug has said that the community board's almost last to consult. I feel that with my social media background that we can get the residents to vocalise what they need earlier on in the piece before council make these decisions. So that's something I'd really like to feed back if I get onto the community board. Let's make sure that the technical work done by council really reflects our needs and the realities of the people that actually live here.
Okay, Linda.
The Whakatāne District Council do include us in their consultation. We do make submissions as part of the consultation process, traffic speeds, the red crossings, and we put the views of our community board and our community into the consultation process. I strongly believe we are the conduit between the residents and the Whakatāne District Council, and we advocate on issues related to regulation. I have felt that we have been very well consulted, and if we are feeling like there might be a gap, we don't hesitate to let the management team know, and then we are encouraged to participate.
Okay, Quinn.
Yeah, I'm a staunch advocate on creating local employment. So I want to create more jobs for our whānau to not just be the labourers, but start their own businesses to create stimulus in our economy. And so I want to really advocate to council that let's create local employment for our people. And also because I'm out there in our community constantly, and I'm hearing potholes here, potholes there, and so everything to do with our roading, I can take that voice back to our community, or to our council.
Okay. So what's the next box number?
7.
Yep, we can do 7. Okay, we've got A for Alpha.
Okay.
What will be your preference for new street names to be based on in the Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board area? Examples, former mayor names, names gifted from local iwi.
My preference for new street names would be determined by the location. If it's a location of significance to Māori, we should consult with iwi or hapu who whakapapa to the area for a suitable name which reflects a person or event in history. If there is no such link, then I would prefer names of our New Zealand flora and fauna. For example, Kokako Street, Hoi Hoi Close, Fio Lane, or Banksia Place.
Okay, Doug.
I've got no real issues. I think naming should be based on historical events and people that have contributed a lot to the community. I think naming should be deserved, and you know, it's special. So that's my view on it.
Okay, Rosemary.
I think canvass the community and consider all the suggestions. I don't think there's a broad brush approach to this. It's something that the community belongs to us. The suggestions that have been made previously about historical names, flora and fauna, they're all really, really important. But ask our community.
Okay, Sasha.
I think a balanced, well-rounded approach is best. I commend the community board for naming the street after the incredible Lisa Carrington. I think that was a fantastic choice and honours local achievement. Moving forward, I'd support a mixture of all names gifted by local iwi that reflect our history and whenua, recognising local community leaders, sportsmanship, anything that recognises Whakatāne District. That way we create a living record that reflects both our heritage and our future.
Okay, Linda.
It is important to recognise local history, for example, Olympic drive and the champions. But that development was done many years ago and we have now moved on. There must be consultation with the community. I support local leaders, like we did encourage the council with Lisa Carrington Lane, and it took a wee bit to get a gold standard put on that for her recognition for the most gold medals ever done. But iwi, the community, it must be consultation with the people that are affected by that naming in the development.
Okay, Quinn.
I 100% agree. It should be consultation with the community, wherever the naming of the street is going. But I'm a staunch advocate for our tupuna names. So, for example, Whakatāne-Ōhope, where I grew up, we were called Awatapu. The original name is Whakatāne-Ōhope. So, to bring back some of those original names, sheds light on the significance of that area. Also gives identity to local Māori, such as myself, growing up in Awatapu. Then learning Whakatāne-Ōhope was the original name is actually really, really significant because it gives you identity and allows you to embody your tupuna.
Okay, Tim.
If it's iwi land, you should give the name, and if not, I like to see neighborhoods named in clusters, local fauna and flora, so communities feel connected with the land and with each other.
Okay, Doug, what would you like the next box number to be?
5.
5, we can do that. Okay, we've got C for Charlie. How will you stand for the community at the council table on issues where the council is not in support of them?
I think what we do, we can present our case, and sometimes, you know, people can change their mind, and that happens. Do the best for, you know, who we're advocating for, and if it's still not accepted, that's democracy, but you can persist, you know, at a later date, or don't give up if that's, you know, you feel strongly for that on behalf of the community.
Okay, Rosemary.
To advocate with a clear laid out plan, good case studies and a lot of supporting evidence. I think all of those things help to get those ideas across the line.
Okay, Sasha.
It's easy. I'm advocating for the community board, for the community first. I don't work for council. I want to represent the people who live here. So even when council is not in support of an issue, I see my role as ensuring the community's voice is heard clearly and respectfully at the table. I quite like bringing people together with differing positions and finding common ground. So I would work hard to build consensus while still holding firm to the mandate given to me by the community.
Okay, Linda.
The Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board are visible and have regular attendance at the council meetings. We encourage submissions on issues of importance, like the speeds, the long-term plan, or collaborate with staff to assist with consultation. We have Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board has set a strategic plan at the beginning of each triennium. We consistently remind Whakatane District Council about our must-haves as we bring to the strategic plan as the wish list of the residents of our Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board rohe. We will ensure that our viewpoint is given to the District Council for them to consider, and that they understand our position on behalf of the community. I've been battling on a bit about shade sales, and we've been looking at barbecue tables. We consistently raise those issues at our meetings to make sure that they're not forgotten.
Okay, Quinn.
Since becoming the chairman of Whakatāne Kaitaki Trust, which is Awatapu, there's a saying that I've learned, and it's called the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So I've been advocating for Ōtapu for almost 10 years now, and we've got shade sails for our Thompson Crest Park. We've helped to fix up our Thompson Crest Park, and I'm really proud about getting our Ōtapu community garden up and moving. Which is huge. And so I will bring the squeaky wheel to the table.
There is some oil in the back of my car if you want to lubricate it. No longer useful because I don't own a vehicle that has that oil in it anymore, but it's been sitting in my van for 3 years. Tim?
If the council isn't backing the community, I'll be clear. I have a voice and I'll use it to keep the community's case on the table and push for solutions that move us forward.
And an issue that often comes up is the basics versus the nice to have. And I'm a supporter of the arts and have lobbied to the council for an arts, culture and creativity strategy. Some may call the arts a nice to have, but to me that term smacks of dabbling in something insignificant, whereas the arts can significantly contribute to the economy by attracting visitors to the region and by putting a place on the map. I would argue for what I believe in. Thank you.
Okay, Rosemary, what's the next box number you'd like to pick?
6, please.
Yeah, we'll do that. So what's in? So we've got B for Bravo. Oh, this is going to be very similar to the last one. How would you stand up for your community interests if it differs from your own position?
Research. Absolutely research. I think, you have to know what you're dealing with. You have to know what the issues are and then go forward from there.
Okay, Sasha.
I like all of the ones on the community board. We're wearing multiple hats in our professions, committees, and through our volunteer work. I'm used to balancing different perspectives. What I like to do is look at it from a 360-degree view. So if my position differs, I will support the will of the community because serving on a board is about representing you. You are the people.
Okay, Linda.
When Tony finished being the mayor, I wasn't finished with not doing what needed to be done for some aspects in our community. And so therefore, Tony said, well, do what you can and get on the community board. So I was elected to represent the majority of the community. I will vote for what I believe the majority of the community wants. I will connect with people and get views. The local community has rich groups and they are a fabulous source of support and they know their rohi. So those are the people we should be listening to.
Okay, Quinn.
I'm constantly in the community and I'm always listening to the community. My whānau are the community. But above all, I always go and seek the wisdom from my kaumātua and my kuia, so that's where I will always end up going back to for seeking guidance.
Okay, Tim.
I believe that leadership isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about knowing what you're saying no to when you say yes, and what you say yes to when you say no. And I will only back ideas I believe will level us up.
Okay, so
we are very privileged to live in a democracy. So if I'm outvoted by my fellow board members on an issue, I will support the majority decision. An example would be the choice between building access roads and a new bridge over Ōhine-Mataroa, the Whakatāne River, or extending and renovating the two existing bridges. I prefer option 2 because it's more cost effective, but would defend option 1 if that was a majority decision.
Doug.
You present the community case. I'm talking about your local community. There are a lot of communities within this bigger community, and that mightn't be the majority, but present the case as best as you can. and if it's not accepted, that's democracy.
Okay, Sasha, what's the next box number?
1.
1. Okay. Okay, we got H for hotel. How accessible is the current community board, and what steps would you take to improve its accessibility if needed?
I'll be honest, I hadn't actually heard much from the community board before I put my hand up for this. It tells me that it's not as visible or as accessible as it should be. And if I wasn't engaged with them, I know many others won't be either. My own skill set is in social media, so I would use that to make updates clear, regular and engaging, not just meeting notices, but plain language summaries of decisions or infographics that explain what's happening in our area. But accessibility isn't just about being online. I want to make sure that the information is visible offline. Posters in local supermarkets, library notice boards, flyers in community halls and schools, and regular updates in local newspapers and radio. It's also important to reach groups who aren't always well represented. That means holding some hui's and marae's and working in partnership with Hapu and iwi, making sure that engagement reflects kaupapa Māori values. So I would work on making the board more open, visible, welcoming, so that people don't just hear about it at election time, but feel connected year round.
Okay, Linda.
Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board are generally very visible at Whakatāne District Council events. We support the council in any consultation with public at markets. We have the public section of our community board meetings. We encourage public to our meetings. We, in the next triennium, will encourage a more regular newsletter, which will be, as Sasha has said, in places like libraries, in our radios, so that and in our newspaper, so that people can be more cognizant of what we are doing. We are a social media presence, but our next steps may be going on to Instagram and being more of having more of an opinion there. We are accessible via email and in person. We do have a presence and we support local community events. Whenever there is a festival or an event, we are there. We, though, do probably need to be more active out there in the community.
Okay, Quinn.
I would probably leverage off my role in the community board and create stronger relationships within the council, the CEOs, and because I already have quite a few relationships within the council, I would advocate to help with communities like Awatapu and all those issues that we do have in these communities. So I would leverage off my my role here in the community board to create more support for our communities, like Awatapu.
Okay, Tim.
I would love to see the board become more accessible by turning it into a platform like a local Pledge Me or GoFundMe. So where project ideas connect with people, resources, and funding that go beyond our local board.
Okay, so
The outgoing community board has been very accessible under the awesome leadership of Carolyn Hamill, and many community organizations have received support. However, there are always some sections of the local population that do not know about the community board. It would be useful to run a social media, radio and newspaper campaign to raise awareness about the roles and functions of our community board. And I like Sasha's ideas there. A grassroots support organization for the people who live in this area. This is what the community board is, in my view. And we have to get the word out there about us.
Doug.
I think we've done reasonably well, but there still needs to be a lot of work done to, make the community board more accessible. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the last 3 years. Right in the spot here, we were invited to the Kerala festival. The community, 200 families from the state of Kerala in India, and they work, most of them work in the hospital. And that was an amazing experience. You know, this parts of the community like this that I've found out about. To sum it up, we need to do a lot of work to be more accessible.
Okay, and Rosemary.
I'd like to see invitations sent out to various community sector groups like seniors, different ethnic groups, as Doug just mentioned, in order for them to understand a little bit more about what the community board does. I feel that people are aware of the community board usually when they're looking for funding, but the community board could be so much broader than that. And having those extra voices and making it a little bit more transparent. We live in a digital age. There is, I'm sure, room for community board to also go out as a Zoom.
Okay, and Linda, what's the next box number? 8. Yep, we can do 8. Okay, we got E for Echo. What community projects would you be happy to support for community board grants?
The new Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board, this next triennium, will hold a workshop to develop the strategic plan for the 25-28 triennium. We will be including projects, some that will be controversial, like in our last strategic plan, someone was looking for floating jetties, which we knew would be expensive. We need to be looking at artwork or creating gardens, facilities and parks that will benefit all of our ratepayers. Shade sails over barbecues and play areas, exercise equipment in public parks, as was begun in Marae Tōtara Reserve. Coastlands Walkway Cycleway is dear to our heart. The Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Cycleway, that could probably be concreted. I'm interested in dog do bag dispensers. These are the sorts of things that make our community far more attractive and livable.
Quinn.
I would support like more bike rides, more bike pathways, more cultural, like po whenuas, like we have one in Ōhope, cleaning up our lagoons, our waterways. That's what I would advocate for. And how do we create more employment? That's probably my focus.
Tim.
I'll support any project that levels up work, play, and life, like turning empty sites into pop-ups where people can test business ideas, or growing food forests that can feed whole communities.
I think the process is that the community groups approach the community board with their projects, and the board evaluates it as a team and then decides to support it or not, and if yes, to what funding level. The outgoing board has supported creating a Whakatāne Memorial, very important thing to do, and this is still under development in regard for funding and placement. Other projects that are in development are implementing the recently presented diversity and inclusion policy and the development of the arts hub. Those are things that interest me personally, but it is really what the community brings to the board. We need to research that, find out what the community wants, and then develop a plan, like Linda said, a strategic plan of where we can make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, Doug.
I believe in a broad focus. I really like to support people that are putting a lot of effort in across sectors, sport, elderly, arts, culture, whatever, and support as much of the community as we can to enrich our community.
Okay, Rosemary.
If we're looking for a fit and healthy ageing population, I would advocate really strongly for a senior playground that promotes building strength and capacity. I've seen them work in London, in Asian countries, in Australia. I think it's something that could really be a very useful thing to have in our rohi, and it would benefit our ageing seniors.
Okay, Sasha.
I love that idea, Rosemary. I want to play off that. I think we could create an ageing population playground alongside the children's ones, because usually it's also grandparents who are there with their kids. So I think that's fantastic. I went to one meeting, the last meeting, community board one. I saw so many electric presentations from people where they had done all the hard yards and they needed that little bit more just to get over the line. And one of those was Space Camp. And all those students and teachers are actually leaving today to go to Houston. And it looks so amazing. So I'm open to all community projects, especially the ones that I see that get everyone excited to be a part of it. And yeah, I want to be part of it too. Exciting.
Okay, just to keep things on time, we're not going to go for the next two box questions because we've got the Whakatāne-Ōhope General Award, which is meant to start at 4, but it's probably going to start a little bit late. But let's, Ian, can you flick over the hard-hitting questions graphic, please?
Questions, we don't get anything funny. What does a question? Because every candidate has answered behind hidden questions.
Okay, and for community boards, we only give them one hard-hitting question, but it's very important. What is your position on retaining Whakatāne District Council's Kaputarangi Māori Ward and the Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Kohi Māori constituency, and why do you hold that position? Let's start off with Linda.
Whakatāne District Council is 48% Māori, 7 iwi. Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board is predominantly 1 iwi Ngāti Awa. Māori perspective is vital. Like I have already said with the Flying Fox rebuild, it was a fine example of hapu involvement. We have dedicated Māori wards that ensure that Māori voices are heard. Māori participation adds another lens to any solutions for Whakatāne District Council. The Māori voice and input into decision making is absolute. I believe in all voices at the table for effective consultation and guided outcomes. I am absolutely for Māori wards.
Okay, Sasha.
1000% yes. As a proud New Zealander of Scottish and Greek Cypriot heritage, I value representation of all cultures. Māori wards strengthen inclusiveness, I can't say that, by ensuring tangata whenua have a guaranteed voice in decision making. Evidence shows that Māori voter turnout in local elections is consistently lower than non-Māori, often due to barriers such as feeling disconnected from council processes, mistrust, or their sense that their voices won't carry weight. Māori wards directly address this by providing a pathway for stronger participation and representation. I am fully for this.
Okay, Rosemary.
I can't believe in 2025 we're even having this conversation. 100% totally that voice needs to be at the table with every decision at every level of our community board and our councils.
Okay. Doug.
Yeah, I believe, we've in this area here particularly, it's Māori heartland. They have to have a strong voice. I'm for Māori wards.
Okay, so
100%, I support keeping our Māori wards. I know that the 3 current Māori ward representatives have worked really, really hard for our community and brought Te Ao Māori, the Māori world, to the council table and contributed a lot in representing whānau and iwi. And it is really important also to uphold the Treaty of Waitangi. Thank you.
okay, Tim.
Churchill said that democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others we tried. And it's not perfect, but it's how we organize ourselves. And I'm still working through what true Māori self-governance alongside all of us here in New Zealand would look like. And I haven't seen the model yet. So for now, let's keep Māori wards. They make sure that their voices are heard on the way to something better.
Okay, Quinn.
Yeah, I 100% agree to Māori wards. That's why I put my name in the hat to represent our people and have our voices heard at the table. And yeah, so whānau, get out there and vote, because the statistics says that we don't vote so strongly. So rather than just being a statistic, I'll put my name up to lead by example. Kia ora.
Okay, thank you for that. Now let's get for closing statements of why each candidate should get your tick to be on the Whakatāne-Ōhope Community Board. Quinn, you get to go first.
Yes, as like my opening statement, I'm as local as the breeze. I love our town. I love to see change because I lead the blueprint for change. I want to encourage our local whānau and our community that if I can do it, well, you can do it. And I really want to encourage my children and my iwi, my hapu, that it's not as hard as you think it is. And just get out there, put your hand up. Kia ora.
Okay, Tim.
I start with ideas, then connect people and resources so life clicks into flow. Bold ideas, practical action, less talk, more done. If you want Whakatāne moving forward, give Tim Proat your vote.
Sue.
I have lived and worked in this community for 30 years and been connected with lots of community groups and proved, I think, with my volunteering that I'm passionate about working with community members, listening to them and providing them with answers and activities that they are asking for. And I would love to be on the community board to continue this work and broaden out from the arts and the other aspects I'm involved in into many different new avenues. So give me your vote. Thank you.
Okay, Doug.
I was heavily involved in the community for 21 years as principal of the intermediate. I love this community. All of a sudden when I retired, I was disconnected. This being on the community board gives me a connection with the community. I still feel part of it. If I want to feel good in this community, I walk downtown. I love the people here, and that's why I'm standing to stay reconnected with this community.
Rosemary.
I think I've proved myself in our community. I'm genuine, caring, approachable, put my hand up for a lot of things in this community, and I would take care of the vote that you give to me.
Sasha.
What do I say? I'm practical, I'm kind, respectful, huge amounts of empathy, and I'm strong enough to take your concerns to the next level and actually do something. Like you, I want our town to be an amazing place to live, to work, to retire, to play, and to raise a family. So I'm there. I want to do this. I want to bring some, excuse me, some new enthusiasm and fresh blood actually to this and work with everyone. I feel like we're all a really cool team, even though we don't really know each other. So yeah, I'm there.
Okay, Linda.
I've been involved in local government since 2007 when Tony went back onto council as a councillor before he became the mayor. So I've been watching and walking alongside him thinking, I want to do some of that stuff. So when I put my hand up to go onto the community board, I was delighted that I've been appointed to the board, or elected to the board 2 terms now, and I'm looking for a 3rd term. I'm deputy chair at this traineum, and I'm looking forward to, as has been said, other fresh blood, a fresh perspective, looking at the community board. I believe that collectively we all can have a voice that matters. I have been steeped in the community in many organisations. I have been very involved at Whakatāne High School with the youth. I'm very encouraged with environmental issues. As far as the community board, it is an important vote. I will enjoy looking at hopefully being elected for another term.
Okay, thank you to our candidates for participating on It's in the Ballot, and thank you for being, I think, probably one of our biggest community board shows that we've done. I think Primary Community Board and on the Kapiti Coast District Council, I think, is our nearest closest that we can compare on numbers. So I'm really pleased we can sit there and do that. If you are someone who has turned 18 between nomination day being the 1st of August and October the 11th, please make sure you get yourself to the Whakatāne District Council and do a special vote, or if you receive your voting papers in the mail, please make sure you actually vote them, drop them off in a drop box, or send them in the post and have your vote counted. We'll be back here very soon for the Whakatāne-Ōhope General Award Show, where we'll see some more of these fantastic candidates, shall we say, vie to get your vote. Have a good afternoon.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.